To honor the glory of Tamil language, this government will continue to urge the Union government to declare Tamil as one of the official languages of India. This government will also urge that in all Union government offices, including nationalized banks situated in Tamil Nadu, Tamil must be declared and used as the co-official language. To enable this, if necessary, Article 343 of the Constitution should be suitably amended. The Central Institute of Classical Tamil in Chennai shall be revitalized, and we will impress upon the Government of India preserve its autonomy and not affiliate the institute to any other university. This government will urge the Union government to advise the government of Sri Lanka to ensure that LM Tamils have equal civil and political rights. This government will also urge the Union government make necessary laws and amendments to grant Indian citizenship to Tamil refugees from Sri Lanka. This government will accord highest priority to the effective maintenance of law and order in Tamil Nadu. A peaceful and harmonious social environment free of communal tension is absolutely vital for the development of the state. This government will ensure equity and justice for all in the state. The morale of police personnel has to be boosted to ensure effective maintenance of law and order and prevention of crime. This government believes that an integral aspect of policing is the cordial relationship between police and the people they protect and serve. Various measures will be undertaken to strengthen such bonds, including requisite training for police personnel. The grievance redressal process for police personnel will be strengthened. Compassionate ground appointments will be expedited, especially in the case of those who die in the line of duty. Government has numerous ways to expedite resolution of all cases and to actively monitor the cases in which the government is a party till their timely conclusion. Responsive governance, the watchword of the government. Already the Honorable Chief Minister has appointed a officials to resolve all the grievance petitions received during the program. Ungal Thogudipil Mudal Amateur within a period of 100 days. I am happy to inform this House that despite the pandemic, already 63,500 petitions have been resolved. The COVID pandemic had disrupted all sectors and exposed several structural weaknesses in the economy, as well as in governance structures. Such a crisis also provides the motivation and the opportunity for long overdue structural reforms. This government feels the current model of human resources management, backbone data system, and audit and oversight functions need a thorough overhaul. Simplification of methods and process while retaining and enhancing accountability will lead to improved impact for the citizens for every rupee spent by this government. This government will make all efforts to ensure transparency and accountability by promoting e-governance and providing substantially enhanced access to government services through the online mode. Online open access from anywhere will be enabled to ensure anytime, any place services are made available. New technology solutions will be adopted for timely dissemination of information of natural disaster-related news and alert messages to the public. First responders from neighborhoods including NGOs, will be trained to handle the initial response in disasters, and their functioning will be integrated with the functioning of the government machinery in disaster response and management. Providing clean administration is the highest priority. Why you are silent? This is the priority. Providing clean administration is the highest priority. I appreciate. The Lokayukt will be revitalized and empowered to deal with complaints against public authorities, including elected representatives and government officials. The Directorate of Vigilance and Anti-Corruption will be energized and pending complaints dealt with expeditiously. The Right to Services Act will be introduced to streamline the delivery of various public services by government agencies. There can be no social justice when there is high economic inequality and stratification. Inclusive growth is thus the priority of this government. Growth and progress must benefit all of society and not just the top of the economic pyramid. In recent years, we have seen a slowdown in Tamil Nadu's economic growth rate. This government will make all-out effort to reverse this trend and to serve in a period of rapid economic growth, taking full advantage of the available limited window of the demographic dividend to chart out a rapid and inclusive economic growth path for Tamil Nadu. This government will constitute an economic advisory council to the Chief Minister with leading economic experts from all over the world as its members. They include the Nobel laureate Professor Esther Duflo of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, USA, Professor Raghuram Rajan, former Governor, Reserve Bank of India, Dr. Arvind Subramaniam, former Chief Economic Advisor to the Government of India, Professor Jean Drèze, Development Economist, and Dr. S. Narayan, former Union Finance Secretary. Based on the recommendations of this Council, the government will revitalize the state's economy and ensure the benefits of economic growth reach all segments of the society. The fiscal health of the state is a cause for concern, and this government will focus on improving the fiscal position and bringing down the overall debt burden. As a first step, a report detailing the true state of Tamil Nadu's finances will be released in the month of July, so that the people of Tamil Nadu are fully informed. This government believes that accurate data should support all decision making, especially for decisions that allocate scarce resources among competing claims. Data-based decision making will also increase the transparency of the government's